Now, the next thing to give up if you want to be rich is women. I have a 90% male audience, so I'm speaking to you guys directly. You know, the way that I was raised is, as a man, if you take a woman out to dinner, you pay for it. There's no questions, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I was raised very traditional with an Eastern European / even Middle Eastern mother. So for that reason, until the age of 25, don't even worry about women. Now, also don't be scared of women, interact with women. Don't be a weirdo or a creep. In your day-to-day life, you can interact with women. Of course, if you find someone attractive, go up, speak to them, compliment them. But what I'm saying is serious dating, you are not in that position right now. And this goes hand in hand with drinking, because obviously most of the time when you're on dates, you're drinking as well. You need to understand that as a man, your glory years are from the ages of 28 to 38. That's really the years where women find you the most attractive. You know, it's funny, I even have friends that would never even go near a guy if he's under the age of 30. You could take the exact same guy and change his age from 32 to 24, and you just would simply not find him attractive anymore. Of course, in general, women are looking for older men because usually they bring more stability, more guidance, more wisdom, more direction. So as a man, if you know that, why not spend all of your younger years, work on yourself, make something of yourself, become the man that you want to become, and then go present yourself to the world? Because listen, I'm going to be very honest with you right now. If you really painted out like your dream girl, not the girl that you would settle for, like your dream girl, you probably can't get her right now. So what's the point in going out there on dates, on Tinder, getting drunk, all of this bullshit to settle for a woman that is subpar from the vision of who you want to be with? Why not just lock yourself away, work on yourself as a man for a few years in every area of your life, and then in 3 years, 5 years, 8 years, present yourself to the world, and you will be able to get your dream woman like this. Because let alone being a high value man, you are a high value person. You can sit here and you can bitch and you can complain that things are unfair for men and we have to sit and work our way through our 20s and literally like a sculpture shape and morph ourselves to become the right man in order to attract our dream woman. Whereas, let's just be very honest, a lot of women, all they need to do is just be beautiful, polite, respectful, have good feminine energy. That's not something that takes 10 years of work to accomplish. So you can sit here and you can bitch and you can complain, but that's just the way life is. So if you are not where you want to be, cut the women. They are distractions. What is the point in settling for a subpar version of the woman who you want to be the mother of your children? Lock yourself in your house, fucking work on yourself, and present yourself to the world in 5 years and you'll get her like this. Now, the last thing you need to give up if you want to be rich is keeping up appearances. And no matter what position you get in life, because unlike drinking and unlike women, I think that once you get to a certain place in life, it does make sense to incorporate those into your life again. If that's something you want, by the way. Everyone is wired differently. Everyone wants different things from life. But keeping up appearances is something that you should never, ever divulge in, ever. I can tell you right now that so many of you are stuck because you are paying for a car you cannot afford. You're buying all this Gucci, Balenciaga, all this fucking bullshit, even though you cannot afford it. You're taking trips to Dubai when you can't afford it. You're flexing, you're stunning on the gram, even though you are broke. And you need to understand that that is a sad existence, because every single night you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror and understand that I'm not that guy. And by the way, I know of people who make $20 million a year and spend $30 million a year. I know that sounds ridiculous to you. I know that sounds crazy, but there are some people that simply get all of their worth from the money they spend, the lifestyle that they present. That's it. Now, I have a very pragmatic approach. I save and invest 70% of everything I make. And I know that a lot of people look at my lifestyle and think it's crazy that sometimes I spend upwards of $500,000 a month. But for me, it's just percentages. And when I had no money, when I was broke, I was very cognizant and I was very aware of the fact that when I make money, that is the most dangerous place to be, because that is where you stop keeping track of money. That's where you just spend willy-nilly, and the empire that you built can collapse in a second. So keeping up appearances, no matter what position you get to in life, is something you need to let go of if you want to become rich and also stay rich. Now, one thing I will mention is it's something that you will get out of your system. You know, it's funny, there's no playbook on what to do once you get money. Like, there's no one who has a guide that tells you, hey, spend money on this because it's worth it. Don't spend money on this. You know, there's not really that much advice out there. So I will say, as you start to make some money, you will probably need to get it out of your system. You will probably need to flex a little and stunt your money and throw it around. But then you're gonna get to a point where you're very comfortable with your wealth. And for me, comfortable with your wealth does not mean that you have to be humble so that way other people think you're humble. If you wanna fly private, or you wanna spend money on this, or you wanna spend money on that, do it. It's your money, as long as it's reasonable. As long as you're saving and investing a good chunk of your money, I think comfortable with your wealth is when one is expensive and a lot of people will be jealous or envious of it, and the other may be cheaper, but you like the cheaper thing and you're not gonna get as much recognition for it, but you still go for it. I'll give you an example, and this recently happened to me. If there's two cars, and by the way, you can totally afford both cars. In one car you can flex on the gram with, another one is a nice car, but it's not a head turner. If you simply just like this car more, for example, if it's a Tesla compared to you could buy yourself a Rolls Royce, and you could do that very comfortably. For me, comfortable with your wealth is I like the Tesla, so I'm just gonna buy the Tesla. So the reason I say all this is because you're gonna go through an arc and you're gonna get to a point where eventually you settle into your money and you don't feel like you need to keep up appearances. You don't need to feel like you need to constantly upgrade your lifestyle for other people. You just do things because you like it. And by the way, there's a lot of people who have a lot of money, but they're so caught up with keeping up appearances that they're simply a slave to their money. They're a slave to keeping up this facade that they have. So ladies and gentlemen, those are 3 things that you need to give up if you want to get rich. And by the way, if you want to stay rich, because this whole process of getting rich and staying rich, it's not 1 year or 2 years. This is a 10-year plus journey. And by the way, you can look back on my YouTube in 2015 when I was a broke kid starting my first business to take care of me and my single mom. Watch my YouTube, see the journey, see the process. You need to remember that you're going to put one foot forward in front of the other for years and years and years. And as I said at the beginning of this video, life is just as much about defense as it is offense. So protect yourself, make sure you're strong, make sure there are no leaks in your vessel. And on that note, I'll be watching you from afar and I'm rooting for you.